I got the wrong one.
I don't have that. I'm not getting any of that. Thank you.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Oh, it looks good on you, though. What about that guy that calls himself the Godfather?
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr. He was like a god walking amongst mere mortals.
I look good. I mean, really good. Hey, everyone! Come and see how good I look!
He refers to himself as the Godfather.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
He spends more time on his hair than on the golf course.
How's my hair?
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
If you need a gym card, he's got one. He is George Honeycutt, the Godfather.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
All right, fellas.
And good morning, golfing world. Welcome to TGD Today, the Monday Morning Golf Wrap. We are coming to you from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Hugh Roy III, George Honeycutt. And, of course, we're being brought to you by the Myrtle Beach Golf Authority, the wonderful people over there. If you're planning a getaway, a weekend away, a vacation, a golfing vacation, give Myrtle Beach Golf Authority a call. You can contact Kathy or Karen, either one, at myrtle-beachgolf.com. That's 888-272-7263. Again, myrtle-beachgolf.com. Hugh, baby, how was your weekend?
It was good, George. It was good.
Busy, busy, busy. Saturday Golf Group went out to River's Edge.
What a good one.
It's a good track, dude. I had several guys. I took 12 guys, and I called our guest today that we have on with us, Mr. Jeff Pentinelli, who is, of course, PGA professional and head golf professional at River's Edge. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are
Pleasure
you,
to be
young
here.
man?
A little wet right now, but it's been a good weekend, so I'm not complaining.
Oh, it was a fantastic Saturday. I have to congratulate you. As I was telling you, I took 12 guys out there, and 6 of them had never been to River's Edge.
Beautiful.
Well, I guarantee you they like it now.
They're going back.
It's one of my favorite layouts without a question of a doubt. Great, beautiful views, and just a great test of golf.
Let me tell our listeners and our viewers why we went out there. Jeff hosted a Super Bowl scramble on Saturday, and this is becoming now, for him, going to be a monthly tournament that he's going to host a scramble.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what we're going to do out there is, I've already signed up for the next one, February the 28th. And I think I put down 12, but it looks like now I'm going to need 16, Jeff. So if you'll go ahead and make that adjustment.
I'm making it right now. I actually have a list this time. You caught me by surprise on the first one, but I'm ready for you.
Good deal. He provided breakfast, hot dogs, lunch when we got through, 18 holes of golf, cart, raffle ticket. And it just keeps going. You must have handed out, 15, 20 gifts?
I think we did. It ranged from sunglasses, hats, shirts, golf balls. We did a pair of
and a
underwear
flat
for the
screen
long
TV.
drive winner.
Flat screen
yes, a
TV.
40-inch flat screen.
I didn't win.
You never do.
I never do.
We
What's
needed
up with
that code. I needed that special ticket to know ahead of time.
Ooh, the special ticket.
We'll have to wait till the next one. We don't want them on the first one. They might start to talk.
You know, it's just like they talk about, though, Jeff. It's hey, how deep can you dig in your pockets, George, to make sure we can handle this? Other than that, sit there and keep doing your thing.
Yeah, I paid $500 for a $300 TV. Yeah, I got you. Jeff, you paid out prizes to the first 3 teams, Team 1, 2, and 3, from both a men's and a women's division, and none of my teams won. So
you were close, though. Godfather's group was actually 61.
Yeah.
We had 3 tied at 60. That's what bumped you out. So that one extra putt may have put you in the running.
Well, I tell you, we played as well as we could, and it's the first time that I've played River's Edge, and I want to thank you, Jeff, because you put us off on the white tees.
Yes, sir.
And first off, that made the golf course play a lot of fun. I mean, we just had a blast. But it was the first time I have ever reached all 4 par 5s in 2.
Now, did you
including number 9. Including number 9. Awesome. I hit hybrid from the white tee at number 9, and then I hit a 4 hybrid from 207 and stuck it to 15 feet. We had a 15-foot eagle putt on 9.
That's great. That's
So,
great. Yeah, we moved
it's the
around
first time I've ever
a
done
couple
it,
of
dude.
those tees for that, trying to get everybody a chance on, especially the par fives. Just makes it more fun
Wonderful idea.
when you're doing a scramble.
Wonderful idea. And it just, and I have to tell you, the 6 guys that went with us that had not been there before, they're looking at me after we get through with the round and we're enjoying the Mexican food and just wonderful spread you put out. The girls behind the counter did a fantastic job. And we're sitting there and they're looking at me going, why haven't we played here before? Well, we have. You just weren't part of the group. Right. And they said, well, we want to come back here. This is some place that we would come back here just to play, bring our buddies and all that.
Yeah,
so,
it's what I'm saying. And doing a scramble and doing it the way that George is talking about, the way you did it, Jeff, make it to where it's fun. It's a shootout, and guys get into that. They start making birdies and they start thinking, okay, we got a shot here. And then it just kind of it builds.
Yeah,
it just keeps growing.
Yeah,
that's right, Hugh. It was good we didn't have a senior set up yet. We're going to throw that in for the next one.
Right.
It just opens the door. We wanted to make sure we kept it fair, and you run the risk of, I'm almost that age, so let me slide up a tee. We just wanted to see how the first one went, and I've been part of these before, but not here, and it's different to say that I guess you'd say a top tier course doing an open event like this.
Right.
We figured why not, and the fact that it's only 10 miles further than Ocean Ridge, so it brings in that people start to realize we're not that far away, and that extra drive I think is worth it for what we have here.
Yeah, I live in Little River. It took me 15 minutes to get there, and which is crazy. I mean, it's just up the street. Yeah, it is. It's right up the road. But I want to comment. Here it was in February, and you had 136 players, full field. And everybody, I don't think a person left after the round. Everybody stuck around for the experiment and the ceremonies and the giveaways and all the other things. So hats off to you, dude. And I think this proved that this is something you should replicate every month.
Yes, sir. I appreciate your compliments and the fact that you were able to bring 3 teams with you.
I'm bringing 4 next time, dude. You better load up.
We're ready. We've got Godfather set on the tee.
Yeah, yeah. Tee me off on number 6 again, by the way. Why don't you? The hardest freaking par 4 out there, and I'm sitting here hitting into a 30-knot wind.
Let me get the driver started. See if you wanted to go driver.
Yeah,
Pards, you could start him on a flipping wedge hole. He's got something to complain about.
Watch him
so
out.
just get used to that.
You were actually set to go on 5, but I figured I didn't want to start you on a par 3, so we give you a chance to air the driver out a little bit.
And that's exactly what we did. And I tried to explain to my 3 playing partners, who all 3 had not been there before, that everything, although it doesn't look like it, everything approach-wise is uphill, and you need to add a club. I don't care if the wind feels like it's coming off your back.
That's right.
You need to add a club. And it took them several holes to figure that out, and it took me beating them amongst the head and shoulders to get that in. So, but eventually they did, and we had a blast. So thanks so much, Jeff. Let's turn our attentions to a little bit of golf, as we do on Monday Morning Golf Wrap. We had history set as of this morning. Miss Lydia Ko is the youngest person, male or female, to reach number 1 golfer in the world at the age of 17.
Well,
congratulations to Lydia Ko.
Young lady's earned it. She has played some stellar golf, and she's played very consistently. And the thing about it is, George, she just kind of goes about her business, and you don't really know she's there until she's done.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the yelling and the carrying on or the, big high, giving the fist pumps and whatnot. She just kind of strolls along.
If not for the double bogey she ends up having at Golden Ocala this weekend, she ends up winning that tournament. So, again, she finishes the year out by winning the $1 million for their tour championship. And then she starts off 2015 jumping right out there and being at the top of the leaderboard in the first event of this new year.
Well, I think we got a lot to look at, this young lady. And plus, there's a lot of girls out there playing some good golf, too. The LPGA, you got to give, like we talked about the other day, you got to give their commissioner a lot of kudos from the fact of how he has changed the image of that tour. These girls are doing, the scores they're shooting.
And I think his decision, we talked about this last week, Hugh, his decision to start on Wednesday and end on Saturday, starting Wednesday, end on Saturday was brilliant, especially this weekend with the Super Bowl and the waste management and everything going on. But just brilliant move for him. I guarantee you his market share went up. No doubt about it.
We'll see how it does throughout the year, but I think it's a good way to kind of throw it out there and see what happens, and it's a different idea.
Well, interestingly, Nan-Young Choi, I mentioned Lydia Ko. She takes number 1 ranked ladies player in the world as of today. But, however, she makes a double bogey on 16, enabling Na-Young Choi to come back, Na-Young Choi only had 24 putts on Sunday, Hugh, and so she just goes out and just plays her steady game as she always does and ends up winning the event, and Lydia Ko finishing, of course, in 4th place, I think, or something like that. But, again, it was hers to give away, and she gave it away. But bless her heart, she doesn't pull any punches. She just gets up and hits it, and then she takes it as it lies. So.
Well, and I mean, you're going to lose more than you win, but as long as you keep putting yourself in that situation, that's all you can ask for.
Well, Na-Young Choi, this is her first win since 2012. She won the CME Group Title Holders event back then, and hats off to Golden Acala. I didn't think they could pull it off, but they did. And it looked like the ladies had fun playing it. The wind picked up for them. It had cooler temperatures all 4 days. But the golf course seemed to hold its own.
And it looked good compared to what I had seen it in the past.
Yeah,
the golf course looked fantastic.
I agree.
And that's where you say hats off. They stepped up and put the funds into it to get the golf course in shape to where, on television people would look at it. And it gets it the recognition, that they hoped that it would get.
Well, speaking about number 1s in the world, again, number 1 ranked player on the men's side, Mr. Rory McIlroy. He goes out at Dubai and basically says, okay, let's go out and have fun 4 days, and let me go ahead and knock this one out.
And, he played great first 2 days. Did not play well on the weekend.
Well, but interestingly, I did some, me and the numbers. I did some numbers. His last 4 rounds, last day rounds. In other words, the last 4 times he's played at Dubai, his 4th round, he has scored 74, 74, 73, 71. So yesterday he shoots 70. So it's his best 4th day round at this event.
Yes.
And basically he started the day off with a 5-shot lead. And all he had to do was just not fall down and lose a heartbeat. And he wins.
I agree, but you look at the way he played Saturday. Yes, he shot 66.
Yeah,
but he did not hit the ball well. He didn't drive it well.
No.
He drove it in the desert several times. Got some breaks, But then again, it goes back to the same old thing, George. How fast can you get it in the hole?
Yeah,
you don't have to hit it perfect to play well, and he proved that this weekend, and that's why he's number 1.
Jeff, let me ask
world.
you a question. Would you scramble the ball off the tee a little bit and then maybe not make some putts that you were expected to and then finish up with a ho-hum 66? Would you be happy with that?
Happy's not the right word. I'm just happy it's 10 shots lower than I'd expect.
Yeah, exactly. Does this speak to Hugh of really how far he has separated himself from the rest of the golfing world on the men's side?
Well, it's just changed the fact that he's going out and playing the game. Where the rest of the golfing world has gotten so consumed with some other things. And he's just going out and shooting a score, and all that matters to him is that number he puts in that box on that card.
And that's right. I think he's found a way. The better he gets on off days is what's made him him.
Well, Rory's not known as being a big finisher.
Well, and no offense, golf is a game of imperfection, gentlemen.
Right.
All right?
Oh, yeah.
He who plays the best is not necessarily the one that hits it the best, but who scores the best. And that's what golf is. That's why it's a 4-letter word. It's why it makes you say a lot of them. And it's one of those that, it doesn't matter how well you hit it. It's what you shoot.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all that matters in the end.
Seeing just in the lessons, and Hugh, I know you know what I'm about to say here, but so many people worry about the perfect swing and the perfect 7-iron and everything perfect. But it's never a matter of when it's perfect. It's what can you do when it's not. And you can save yourself the double, make a bogey. You can make that up in 1 hole.
Right.
Throw a double up there. That's 2 more holes you're going to lose with birdies.
Oh, exactly right. But I mean, it's the beauty of it is if you learn how to play the game and you do like what we talked about with Rory, and you've seen it done in the past with Trevino and with Nicholas and some others, their bad shots, they're not so bad. They're not perfect. They might be 30 feet, but they're not off 30 yards.
Right.
And that's where people misunderstand golf. You're not. You may hit, and Mr. Hogan said it. You may hit one perfect shot in a round, maybe.
Right.
Other than that, the rest of them better be decent.
Right.
And that's all you're striving to do. And that's what
Not
I
taking
think,
you off the golf course. Remain on the property and just play it as it lies.
Exactly.
In other words, what
and
it gives you.
giving lessons and me, being in the instruction part of this now, because obviously I don't have the brains for the business side of it, but I do know how to play it and how to teach it. It's people hit these shots. He goes, well, that one was just a little thin. Well, where is it? It's 15 feet left of where I was aiming. Well, what's the problem? And then they go, well, okay, you're right. I said, okay, so quit worrying
so
about
much
it being
of the media,
perfect.
it gets me when you got a tucked pin one way or the other, and then the media goes, oh, well, he played safe and put it in the fat part of the green, or why didn't he attack that pin? He's left himself 15, 20 feet. And, it's not them, the ones that are out there hitting that damn shot.
I agree 100%. 100%.
I mean, when you're coming in
from
from
at 15 feet, it doesn't mean it's not makeable. It just
That's
means
right.
You're not chipping.
Well, if you're
That's
playing
right.
golf and if you're not playing fat too, then you're playing it the wrong way.
Right.
Very true.
Right. Well, Rory ends up shooting 70 on the last day. Starts the tournament off at 66, shoots 64 on Friday, 66 Saturday, and then a ho-hum 70 on Sunday to end up winning the event by 3 shots over Alex Noren, who came out of nowhere, really. Shoots 68, 67, 69, 65 on the final day. Stephen Gallagher continued his stellar play. He's that type of player that you talk about. He just goes out and plays the golf course. He plays within himself. He's not flamboyant. He's not trying all these crazy shots.
He
He's
sticks
not
to his
moving
game
the
plan.
ball.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Martin Keimer came out of nowhere, really rising up the ranks significantly, shooting 64 on the final day. He ends up finishing in 4th place, along with Morten Oram Madsen from Denmark. He shoots 73 to really fall backwards because Madsen was actually one of the closer ones that was closest to Rory in order to catch him on the final day. But, again, you're not going to be able to make a move on Rory McIlroy shooting 73. So
I wanted to ask you guys one thing. Could you picture if Rory just stayed overseas? Do you think he'd lose a tournament?
I think it would be rare.
Boy, good point.
I think it would be
when he
rare.
Goes back, when he goes across the pond, he just doesn't seem to give anything back to anybody. I know the Open is a different story, but
Well, this is his 10th win on the European Tour.
yeah.
So again, of course, he's got 4 majors. So, he's a Hall of Fame player right now, as far as I'm concerned. No question about it.
And he's 25.
And he's 25 years old. So,
Well, I think you're dead right with the majors he's won. Let's just see how many he adds to it to see
Right,
how
yeah.
fast he goes in.
yeah,
Well, and hopefully we don't tag it with chasing the records and just he seems to be grounded with
I don't
focusing
think
on the next one. He doesn't.
Yeah.
bring
I don't
up
think he's
Jack
going to
Owen.
let that happen. I think if people start talking
Exactly.
like that, he's going to tell them, say, look,
You know
y'all,
what?
y'all
Y'all-
just need to chill out.
y'all discuss it. Y'all play with it. Y'all do whatever you want to about it. I'm just going to go out and I think he really, because if you listen to him Friday, interestingly, they had the hot mics on the course, and him and his caddy were playing 7 through 13, 14. And there was a couple of comments made by his caddy. You're going to hit this like you hit it on 13. You're going to hit this like you hit it on 9. You're going to hit this like you hit it on 4. And they're referring to the Masters.
Yeah.
Right.
His mindset's already there. He wants that green jacket. Now, sure, it's going to be the 3rd leg of the Grand Slam and all this other stuff. That's great. But he wants redemption from number 10 beside the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
I agree.
And frankly, my opinion, Hugh, I'll go ahead and put it out there now. Of course, Jimmy's going to bet on, Bubba, but I'll go ahead. I'm going to take Roy for the Masters. I'm going to go ahead and say Roy's the man. Go ahead.
I think he's a
go ahead
favorite
and chase
without a
him.
question. He's
Yeah.
a favorite, no question. The
Doesn't
way he's
make-
playing
doesn't
golf.
make you crazy, that's for sure. I mean, between Bubba and him, I don't know who else would be able to run in there. You're not.
Well, Bubba can't make putts unless he's at Augusta.
That's true.
I mean, we saw that this weekend in Phoenix. Bubba's sitting here at the top of the leaderboard. All he's got to do is make a couple of 4-footers. He can't make a putt.
How funny is that? He putts better at probably the hardest greens too.
There you go.
Anywhere else.
There you go. He needs something sliding 3.5 feet at 15 on the stimp meter. You know, I guess to get his mind focused. You know,
With no
we
chance
talked
on a
about this
comeback,
before.
but-
So, oh well, Rory McIlroy runs away with the Omega Dubai Desert Classic, and I say run away. He only wins by 3, but folks, it wasn't that close.
He went by 3 without stepping on the gas.
Yeah, exactly. He had it in neutral. He was basically coasting downhill the whole final round. If he needed to turn it on, I guarantee you he could have turned it on. So we've identified first, second, and third gear now with Rory, and interestingly, I'm wondering if he's got a fourth, and I think we're going to see it in the upcoming majors this year. All right, also happening over the weekend, of course, as we mentioned, Phoenix Waste Management. Again, the stadium inside the stadium, would you say?
It was
100,000 people on Saturday.
I've never laughed so hard in my life as when Molinari made the hole-in-one, because, you know, the beer bottles and everything being thrown, and it just reminded me of the old days, and that's the way it is. It's nuts. I mean, it's just a blast. I mean, there's nothing like it in golf.
So what did you think about the finish, Hugh? What did you like the fact that there's 5 players all within the lead at one point in time coming down the stretch to win this thing?
George, it's like that every year there. I mean, that's a golf course. You get going on it, you can shoot low. Mm-hmm. You know, it's that good a golf course.
But 16, 17, and 18 were playing troubling for some of these players.
Well, you look at the pin placement on 17, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, 18's a good hole. You know, you got to drive it well. It's not. It looks wide open, but it's not. And you know, you look at 16. I mean,
16's a 130-yard par 3. I mean, it's not that difficult, except for that pin on the left-hand side in the middle. You got to worry about the bunker, and you got to worry about going off the edge and rolling down into the chipping area.
No, I understand that, but you look at also the chaos, the distractions, and everything else.
Sure,
I mean, that's part of it. But
it's like another version of a TPC. You know,
the
shot's not hard. It's the stuff that goes in around you before you're swinging.
Good point. Good point, Jeff.
And you've got people yelling, carrying on, drunk, and all that up there. But it just, it's, you know, you look at what Kopka does. I mean, the back 9, he birdies 13, he eagles 15.
Eagles 15,
okay?
And that was the change.
And that's the difference. Now go and look at what Bubba did. Okay, Bubba loses by a shot, and look what he did on the back 9. He birdies 12 and 13, and then pars to the house.
Right.
How does he not make birdie on 15?
His putter. Again, his putter. That's why I was saying, when he has to make that 4-footer, he just seems to push it.
And that's fine. But if you look at on 15, I mean, for him, that's a driver and a 4 or 5 iron shot for a par 5, and he makes par. I mean, that's just inexcusable.
Yeah, it is for someone of his length and his capabilities with the irons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is the shot that he hit in from 236 with a 4-iron. Only he and probably Rory McIlroy are able to get the ball that high and set it that soft on that green for him to have that eagle opportunity.
Well,
and then you go in 3-putt.
Yeah,
was it 18? I think he had to have a wedge in there.
On 18?
I think he was like 120 or something.
Yeah. But we remember last year, Jeff, he gets over there in the higher grass on 18, and he ends up blowing it and making a bogey, ends up in a playoff, and then he puts it right back in the same spot again in the playoff and ends up losing that.
Well, but look what he did on Saturday. On 15 on Saturday, he misses the green with a lob wedge and then 3 putts.
Right.
You know, I mean, that right there in itself, that's the golf tournament.
Right.
That's why he's not in a playoff.
Yeah.
It's just mental mistakes from that standpoint.
Right. And it's an attention deficit disorder. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see it.
They have medication for that.
Yeah, they sure do. Again, congratulations to Brooks Koepka. He picks up his first PGA Tour win. This is his 4th win out in the European Tour, the other tours that he's participated in. He just won in Turkey a couple of months ago. Yep. So this is actually his 2nd win in the last 4 starts.
Yeah, and Florida State boy went to Florida State University.
But what Hugh impresses me so much, Jeff, you comment on this too, because both of you strike the ball so well. You produce so much clubhead speed. He is a long hitter.
Oh, he's a long hitter, and you look at him, and Jeff, you chime in any time. It's not about how hard he swings at it either.
No.
He looks like it's just, it's silk.
He's got that shut face at the top, and he wears the heavy athletic tape around his wrist, I guess because of the way his hand pronates. But right now, he's leading the driving distance stat on the PGA Tour at averaging 315.
Yep. When he catches in the center.
That's crazy.
At the end of the day, it's a mix of speed and center.
Well, you saw Bubba hit 3-wood on 17 yesterday and come up on the front edge 90 feet away. He hits 3-wood and goes over the green almost into the back hazard.
Mm-hmm.
He's thankful that they let the rough grow to about 2.5, 3 inches on that back side. Otherwise, he's in the water and he's having to take a drop.
Yeah.
So, but, he just, take a little 3-wood for 340 and just send a little beamer out there. Jiminy Christmas.
Oh, I know.
You've got that shot, George.
Yeah, I got it, dude. Right down Highway 17. I could just step right out there and hit it 400 yards.
It's called a 30-06. But I mean, I tell you what, though, guys, the person that I watched, and I watched it a little bit on Saturday. Bray and I were sitting around after we got back to the house because it was cold outside a little bit, and watching Hideki Matsuyama. Wow, watch this guy.
Oh, yeah.
This kid is impressive. Impressive.
Jeff, on the golfdirector.com, I wrote a comment on Wednesday. I picked my 4 players for the fantasy. Okay? Mm-hmm. Ryan Palmer, Hideki Matsuyama, Jordan Spieth, and who was the last one? I'm trying to remember. I had them all 4 up in top 10.
I was just going to say, those 3 at least got you.
I had them all 4
7.
in the top 10. Yep.
I had Hideki Matsuyama and Zach Johnson.
Oh, Zach played very well. Yeah, Zach played player. I'm trying to remember who my 4th was because somebody laughed at me. But I had Palmer, I had Matsuyama, I had Spieth, and I'll have to look on the website.
Did anybody
to see.
have Laird?
No, Martin.
who would
Martin?
have picked
Bless
him?
Martin's
Yeah.
heart. I mean, oh my goodness,
Well,
the shot he hit on 17. Impossible to recover from there.
Well, no
Absolutely
question. No
impossible.
question. But after he hooked it in the water on 15 Saturday, I said that it doesn't matter how he finishes, he will not be there tomorrow.
And then he goes and absolutely chunk dunks his shot on 18.
Yeah.
And I mean, bless his heart. Just what little air was left in his lungs absolutely collapsed. He could have just fell over there and gotten on the stretcher and just got rolled away.
Hopefully he learns from it, and
I think he will.
And gets to where, he gets his
Great
mind
player.
right and moves on.
Great player.
He had half the equation, right? I mean, he didn't hit it right on 18.
No.
Problem is, left is not nearly as playable.
That's right, Jeff. And when you catch it about 3.5 inches behind the ball, you don't exactly get the club head speed to ball impact ratio that you're looking. You don't get that MOI. Is that what you?
Well, yeah. Well,
That's
right.
Yeah. Moment of
Shrimp
inertia.
hooks don't carry water.
Yeah, that's true.
And in Georgia, we call those bass bullets.
Bass bullets.
Bass bullets, I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going to take that if you
That's
don't
a
mind.
Hueism.
No.
Go ahead and
Is
use
that
it.
a copyrighted Hueism or is
No,
that
go right
where you wanna
ahead.
go?
No.
Go right ahead.
Bass bullet.
Again, Ryan Palmer playing very well. Another long hitter. You absolutely watch Palmer swing. Fluid, solid, slow, nothing extravagant to it, nothing jerky. He doesn't dive his head at the ball like we're going to go into a little bit later. Again, phenomenal event for him. I think he had 1 or 2 shots where he knows, like his little shot on 17, going left of the water. He's lucky he did. Very easily he could have made 5 there. But, again, he ends up making par. But, again, another good event for Ryan. That's why I chose him early, because I just saw it last week. And then coming up this week, of course, we're going to Torrey Pines for the Farmers Insurance. The return of DJ. Dustin Johnson is back this week.
He's back.
Along with Tiger, along with Phil, along with several others that I guess you and I are going to talk about here in maybe some new programming or whatever, but we'll be covering that later on in the week, of course, on Thursday.
Absolutely.
So, Dustin Johnson, though, the famous return, hasn't played since July, so we'll all anticipate, according to Butch, he's ready to go. He's gained muscle. He's lost some weight, gained muscle, and he's hitting the ball better than he ever has. So,
Scary thought.
So
yeah.
we'll see what happens when the bell goes ding ding.
Yeah, we'll see. Do you think he makes the cut?
Possibility.
Jeff?
I think he makes a cut. I'm not going to say he's going to turn around and win anything, but
Right.
He'll be competitive.
Well, I think he's got rust after 6 months. I think he will make the cut, but I don't know if he finishes in the top 20. So we'll go from there.
He just seems happy. If he's happy off the course, it may show itself to, not have those jitters or not be
Well, as Hugh and I have
Overly
stated several times over the last couple of weeks, let's just hope he's got his head together and he could take a different approach at the game.
Yeah,
so,
definitely. An
Jeff
incredible
Pindanelli
talent.
from River's Edge, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Again, thanks a lot for your hospitality on Saturday.
You're very welcome.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, and we'll catch up with you at the end of this February, I believe it is, for the next scramble out on the 28th.
Yep, I was just going to say that's the 28th, and they can give us a ring. They can go through your site, phone number here, 910-755-3434, website, river18.com, or you can go right to the golf director and search through you, and we'll be here waiting.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right, good talking to you, buddy. Hugh, good show. Thanks, you. And again, I want to thank everyone for joining us today on TGD Radio and TV, which are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to navigate over to our featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much, much more. Need help with your next golf vacation? Hey, just give us a call here. 844-GO-GOLF-1. That's 844-464-6531. And remember, ask for Dave. All of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show you may have missed, click on the TGD Radio or the TGD TV tabs at the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. For George Honeycutt, Hugh Roy III, and Jeff and Big D behind the glass, we want to thank you for tuning in. There's more golf news and information coming up next.